Yo, what's up guys, Boss here, and I'm back from the YouTube video, and this time we're going to try to use the deck on ladder early season that finished #1 in the world last season. And I've never made a video on this deck before. You guys might know who the really good French player Viper is. He's known for using this HOG Executioner Tornado Rocket deck, and he's just absolutely insane with it. He's really good with other decks too, but this is the deck he always runs on ladder every single season. And the fact that he finished #1 with it is insane, because it's not even meta. I mean, it hasn't been meta in like 3 years. If you guys played the game 3-4 years ago, you might remember this deck was actually pretty solid, but right now it's not that good. Executioner is really weak. Goblins just aren't as good as skeletons in most decks, and Valkyrie, even though it's like an average card, Knight is so much better right now and just so much more prevalent in the meta compared to the Valkyrie. So honestly, such a deserved finish for Viper. He's been working, very hard to get that #1 for a while. I think he's had like a #3 finish before, like a #4, so he's became close to getting it a couple times. And just the fact that he makes this deck work just really proves to you guys, if you're using something that's a little bit off meta, you can have success with it, and definitely at the very least finish top 200 with it if Viper was able to finish #1 with an off meta deck like this. So before the first game, if you guys want to support me, you can use my creator code BOSS. If you're interested in buying the Pass Royale this season, make sure you're using my code or someone else's before you buy it. You can use it in any Supercell game, helps support me, channel, and I really do appreciate all you guys use my code. It means a lot. So, not gonna lie, I'm like 4,400th. I'm a little low because I was trying this deck out. So as I said, I was trying this deck out and I lost a few games, but I feel like I've gotten a little bit of a better understanding of it. I've also saw some of Viper's videos. He uploads some videos on YouTube, like replays of the deck, and what's interesting is in a lot of matchups he actually he doesn't go for hogs only as his win condition. He'll cycle sometimes like 3 or 4 rockets on his opponent's tower if he can't break through with the hog. So that's something important to know with this deck, is rocket is a big win condition. Because if your opponent has like a fast cycle, say like they have, let me actually do this, because I think even though we had to spend more elixir than he spent, getting the King Tower activation is very, very important with this deck, especially versus minor wall breakers, because the King Tower is going to help with so many interactions. But minor wall breakers is a matchup that you, as I was talking about with, if your opponent has a building or a fisherman or a tornado, like this guy has a building here, like a bomb tower, so unless he makes a mistake with his bomb tower placements, we're going to have to go for rocket cycles on top of his tower in order to... Oh wow, good. That was actually a really good prediction log on his end. I didn't think he was going to do that, if I'm being honest. So well played on his part. To be honest though, I probably should have just like gone for a log on those wall breakers and I probably would have been fine. But once again, I didn't expect him to do the prediction, so that was a really nice play on his part. I'm going to go for a rocket because he doesn't have a, because he didn't have, 1 second. We'll go for a log. One of the wall breakers connects, because he didn't have, I was going to say like a minor in cycle, but he cycled back to 1, so good play on his end. We'll go for a hog like this. And we'll see if we can end up getting... No hog hit. Yeah, against minor wall breakers, it's really, really hard to get a hog connection unless your opponent makes like a mistake or something like that. So he is going to go for the minor in the front. I think we go for a rocket here on his tower. We just ignore those wall breakers because he's already got so much damage in the other lane. Go for a tornado here. We can go for... Ooh, might have been a bad fireball there on his end. A little aggressive. So do we take another rocket? We definitely ignore those wall breakers. I think we go rocket here. Okay, nice. Goes for the fireball. I feel like that was a little aggressive, so we go hog here. And then I think we can just win this here. Nice, we got it. So I didn't even play that perfectly. He didn't either, but you guys can see this deck. I have to say, of all the decks I've made a video on, this is probably the one I have, number one, the least experience with. And I think this is one of the most skillful decks to play in this game right now. Even though, like, if it were better in the meta, then I would say it probably wouldn't be. Of course, there'd be more skillful decks. But because of, like, how many weak cards there are in the deck, I just think that this deck is, like, it's just really tough to play, I would say. Like that game, I really had to focus. I felt like I made quite a few mistakes too, but I still managed to just get the dub. But I think it was because he made like a couple mistakes. But yeah, this deck is for sure one you really have to put like a lot of time and practice into to certainly be anywhere near as good as Viper is with the deck. I can tell you that right now. So I guess we can just cycle Log. I do not want to cycle like an Executioner or a Valkyrie. I think that's a really, really bad starting play. That's something Viper never does. That's really risky because you usually need both of those in response to your opponent on defense. So he's going to have an Ice Wizard, and he already used his Log. He's got a Knight. So it's looking like this might be Ice Bow, so he's going to have a Tornado and a Tesla most likely, so he's going to have a lot of good answers to our Hog Rider. So hopefully we can find a way to break through, or we might just have to go for the Rocket Cycle in this match. I don't really know, but we're going to try to go for an Executioner here. Okay, we just have to rocket this Expo for sure. Do we hit the Knight? Yeah, we do. Okay, so not a bad defense at all. So his cycle is about the same as mine, if I had to say. I think Icebo's cycle is like 3.5 and mine's 3.4, if I remember correctly. So we probably won't get out-cycled if I play pretty well. We just have to be really careful about his Expo connecting to our tower. We cannot let that happen, but if we don't let the Expo connect to our tower, I think we probably will be okay, because then we can just cycle like rockets eventually, and that feels like a pretty aggressive expo. I don't know if I really agree with that play, because we can actually, I was gonna say we could just hog it, but because he played all of that, I think we're just gonna take our rocket. We don't end up hitting the Knight, but still a really good value rocket, because we do end up hitting the Ice Wizard, and we have the damage lead as of right now. I think this is a game that's going to really be super close. Like, it's just going to come down to probably like a couple hundred HP, regardless of who wins. But because he just cycled a rocket like that, I think I'm going to really pull the trigger here on the aggressive side, because we have to, I feel like if we punish, it has to be now or never. I really thought that Executioner might be able to like sneak a couple hits in, but unfortunately we don't get it. If he goes for a rocket again, I'm for sure going to like just pressure with everything I have. We're gonna go for a Tornado, try to pull this Ice Wizard in, because he did just use his okay, we got a rocket here for sure. If he goes in for an Expo, we have to Executioner. No. I think we got it. Let's go. Wow. I have to say, I'm nowhere near being, like, anywhere good with this deck, but I felt like I played that pretty well. I did a really good job distracting his Expos at the end, and even though he had, you know, Tornado, Tesla, and I don't really have any, there's no way I should be able to get a hog hit in that match, but he, of course, misclicked the Tesla, which definitely helped me out. But really great win overall. I think I could have done it. What I could have done differently is maybe predicted his Expos, because every time I played an Executioner on the Expo, he was able to predict my Executioner. So that's maybe one thing I could have done differently. But overall, really nice win, and yeah, I'll take it. That was really solid, because I feel like that's not a very good matchup overall, just because he's got so many good defenses against my hog, and if I rocket the tower, the Expo's so difficult to deal with. But yeah, that was crazy. So we'll cycle a log here. And he's not going to do anything. So we're going to wait at least, I think, like 20 seconds before I even consider playing something here. Obviously, we don't open with a rocket. We don't open with a tornado. The question is, do we cycle a Valkyrie? I feel like it's kind of a risky play. I feel like there's no reason to, but just for the sake of I don't want to bore you guys too much, I'm probably just going to cycle a Valk in the back. I don't think it's too risky, especially since I have a Tornado in cycle and an Executioner, but ooh, Electrojag. So I'll take the rocket here. It's a 6-for-5 trade. We get tower damage. A little risky play until we know what he's using, but I think it's the correct play. And we're going to get our elixir back here because we get a nice 1-for-2 trade, and then that fisherman isn't really going to do very much for him at all. So let's just go for goblins like this here, and then I don't really want to... Ooh, good freeze. I think that balloon does get one hit. Unfortunately, it does, yeah, but we're going to hog right away. We have a little bit of split lane pressure here. Executioner's going to get a lot of damage, as well as his... So he does got the tornado, okay. So he does have the tornado. We'll go for Valkyrie like that, and then... I think since he's fairly... Let's see here. How do we want to defend this? I think we'll just go for like an Ice Spirit, and then we'll just kind of Executioner like that. Maybe I should have gone Goblins, but I think it's alright. We'll go ahead and pressure the opposite lane here. Ooh, he's got an Executioner of his own. Very, very interesting. Hog does get like... Oh, wow. Yeah, that was a pretty bad defense, if I'm being honest. So we're going to get quite a lot of damage there. Okay, for sure we're going to rocket this. Wait, do I hit the fisherman? I guess if I don't, it just dies anyway, so it's alright. Let's go. Executioner coming in clutch. He's got a fisherman this here. Gets distracted by the Executioner. We're looking for 2 hog hits. Do we get it? We do. That's going to be a good game. Nice win there versus someone using fisherman and tornado. Obviously, he didn't play it perfectly, but still, I would say good. You know, I still feel like I did what I should have done, I think, most of the time in that match. Maybe there were a couple times I could have defended a little bit differently. To defend like cheaper, but overall I'm really glad like that balloon at the end didn't end up getting a connection, because that would have been really, really close if it did get one, but luckily Executioner, yeah, really came in clutch there. So top 3,000 now. Let's go ahead and go into the next one, and yeah, we'll play probably 2 or 3 more depending on how long the matches are. So Hog first play is not a good play with Hog Executioner. That's one thing I know from watching Viper. Unless he knows what the other opponent's using, he does not open up with the Hog. So we'll just start with Goblins. Okay, so... What is this, like Mortar maybe? I don't know what else this could be. So maybe, yeah, this probably is Mortar, if I had to guess. I'm gonna hog other lane. And it is mortar, as expected. So I think we'll just do that. Do we get the king activation? We do. Nice. Guys, make sure to memorize that tornado. Like, if you didn't know, it's pretty, I would say pretty easy to activate the king tower on skeleton barrels. I do it, I can do it like almost every single time. I rarely mess that up. It's much easier. The hardest tornado interaction, in my opinion, is tornadoing wall breakers to your king tower. That's the tornado that I see most people mess up, of like all the tornado interactions in the game. I don't know why, but I think it's because, and if I'm being honest, I mess it up too sometimes, because your timing and placement have to be exact. So that's probably why. I'm gonna, instead of, the nice thing about having Valkyrie, because it does splashes, you don't really need to use your log on skeleton barrels like that. I'm gonna go ahead and tornado this firecracker in, I think. And then we're gonna go ahead and go for a hog like this. We're gonna go for a log on top of the spear goblins. He's just gonna mortar, obviously. Ooh, mortar does end up coming down late, so not the optimal mortar that he was looking for. But at the same time, that was kind of sloppy defense, if I'm being honest, so not really the defense we were looking for either. I'm going to tornado this. I'm hoping that the mortar doesn't get another connection, because if it does, that would just be really, really annoying. And I think we might go log here, because he probably... Actually, I was thinking he would go for a Goblin Gang, but he didn't. How did that mortar get a connection on the tower again? Oh my goodness. Okay, we rocket here for sure, because he just cycled a Fireball. 100% good time to rocket. And then we'll go for a Tornado just to kill this, because it's really annoying. I don't know how that died, but that's really annoying. I feel like everything that's been going on this match has been very, very annoying. Whoa, what? How did the Ice Spirit freeze it? Oh no. Okay, to be honest, I deserve that loss. I'm fine with that, because I did not play that perfectly. As I said, there's a lot I need to learn with this deck. I nowhere near know how to play every single matchup with this deck, because I don't have much experience with it, but, you know, we're learning, because, again, I don't think that matchup was even that bad, if I'm being honest. It was annoying, for sure, but, like... And, you know, maybe we also got, like, a little unlucky. There were a lot of things that didn't really go our way. But at the same time, definitely a lot of mistakes as well. So, definitely deserve to lose that one. But it's alright. We're just, you know, we're practicing this deck. Kind of just, like, you know, honestly, almost, I guess you could say, like, having fun. Like, I'm, you know, using a deck that I've never really used before and kind of seeing, like, how well I do with it. But yeah, let me know if you guys would like me to do another video on this deck, because I think it's... Hog Executioner is a pretty popular deck. A lot of people stopped using it, but almost everyone knows the Hog Executioner deck, you know? So this guy's got Barbarians and Miners, so it could be a Lava Hound deck. I'm not entirely sure, though. But I think we just cycle... Actually, I'm going to rocket this... And it is going to be Lava Hounds, so, oh boy, I'm going to be honest, I think Hog Executioner has matchup, but I don't know exactly how you're supposed to play it, but I'll do my best. So you got to try to line up the Executioner and the Balloon, I think. But, I think we just go for the King activation here, actually. How did... What? Guys, the sad part is, I don't even know what I did wrong. I thought that was correct. Because that's the placement I always do. Was the timing off or something? Oh, man. Yeah, guys, all I have to say is when you're using a deck you're not great at, you're way more likely to make mistakes because you really have to, like, focus on, like, all the cards that you're not used to in the interactions. Like, because I was so focused on, like, the Executioner there and, like, making sure I was, like, lining it all up. And that's why, guys, mastering a deck, when you master a deck, you're so good with it because you don't have to think about, you know how to do everything. So you don't even have to think twice about what you do. But when, for, like, me, where I'm, like, learning this deck, it's so hard at first because, like, interactions you already know how to do, you mess up just because, you know, you're over, like, thinking and trying to, like, you know, like, not make interaction mistakes with the deck, if that makes sense. But, you know, we still got a chance, I think. Maybe not like a great one, but I mean, if we get like just one hog hit here, we will be in rocket range. So do we get it? We do. The question is, after this rocket, can we defend? That is the question. And I'm going to have to say I don't know. So he does go for the arrows. He ends up missing the goblins. So at this point, I would say we do have a chance here. So I think we pressure with Hog. He goes Barbarians. That's fine. He just spent 9 elixir. Perfectly fine with that. We cycle Executioner. Let me log this. Let's actually do this. It just was kind of like a desperation play. Oh, we were actually pretty close. Look at the Valken. Good game. Again, didn't play that perfectly. I'm learning this deck still. I'm still learning it. Jeez, yeah. Wow. So we got 3 wins, 2 losses. I'd say we'll go for one more game. Win or loss, this will be the last one. Even if we lose, at least we still have like a 50% win rate on the video. But if we win, we end up going 4-2, which would be really good. So we'll do our best to win this. But yeah, I feel like both of those losses I definitely could have won. Like that lava matchup especially, I don't even think it's like that bad of a matchup. In fact, I think Hog Executioner has the matchup. But yeah, I think I made a few mistakes. Is this lava again? I guess we have a little bit of a chance to redeem ourselves here. It is. So I think we just cycle Executioner. And then maybe we pressure with a Hog if we think he's going to go Balloon. So that way he'll lose like most of his tower if he goes Balloon here. So let's go for a Hog right now. And he does go for Barbs. So he might... hold on. I'm thinking about what I want to do. I think we go for a Valk to distract the Skeleton Dragons as well as the Barbarians. And then we just go for a rocket like this. Go for goblins to distract. Oh, we already took so much damage. Maybe this doesn't counter lava, or I'm not playing my defense correctly. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like most people say Hog Executioner counters Lava. If you guys know what I'm doing wrong, you can let me know in the comments. I don't mind some feedback because, you know, I don't, like, I'll admit, I'm not great with this deck. I have so much I need to learn with it still, so I'm really open to, yeah, hearing if any of you guys, like, use this deck or, like, know how to use it. You know, feel free to let me know, like, what I'm doing wrong in this matchup. Or maybe you guys don't know either. Maybe only Viper knows. I don't know. But we're getting absolutely destroyed right now. Well, this is an unfortunate way to end the video, but you know, I tried my best, guys. This, I think, is probably one of the first times I've made a video on a deck where, admittingly, I really don't know what I'm doing like half of the time. But yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed this video anyway. As I said, I never made a video on this deck. I think it's pretty weak, and what you're seeing right now, how bad I am with this deck, really shows you guys how, like, just much of a beast Viper is, and again, how much he 100% deserved that #1 finish. I think it was the coolest #1 finish we've had in a really long time. We finally get to see someone who's never, like, finished #1 before finish #1. I think it's been, like, a few months since that's happened or something like that, because we've had, like, Anaban, Pompeo, like, Igor, like, Wero, like, always the same people, but finally, like, someone else finishes #1. But anyway, yeah, enough talking. Clearly, a lot I have to learn with this deck, but honestly, I probably don't want to waste too much time learning this deck anyway, because it's off meta, and no one, like, let's be real, guys, no one is going to be Viper with this deck. There's only one Viper, like, only one Hog Executioner God. No one's going to ever be able to be as good as him, unless they practice this deck for, like, 5 years for, like, hours a day. But even then, there's no guarantee. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Even though, you know, we lost a lot of games, I felt like it was fun, like, playing a new deck I've never made a video on. And again, if you guys have played Hog Executioner for a while, have any tips for me, please let me know, because, you know, I always like to, like, learn about, you know, decks that even might not even be, like, good in the meta, like, just some, like, tips or anything like that, because, yeah, obviously, I don't know any, like, everything. Like, I would consider myself, yeah, obviously pretty good at this game, but there's, like, it, honestly, no matter how good you are at this game, there's always more you can learn, and that applies to like, even, like, the best player in this game. But anyway, that's gonna be it for the video. Make sure to like it if you guys enjoyed it, subscribe if not subscribed already, and thanks again. Until next time, guys.